This episode is brought to you by Afar. Step out of your day and get inspired with Travel Tales by Afar. Comedians, novelists, and other storytellers will transport you outside your daily routine as they share stories about the trips that changed their lives. Afar believes in the power of travel, and support from the Marriott Bonvoy Boundless card from Chase has made this podcast possible. Listen and subscribe to Travel Tales now on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.
This episode is brought to you by Don Julio Tequila. Don Julio Gonzalez didn't just farm agave, he worshipped them. He harvested plant by plant, hand-picked the agaves at optimum maturity, and created a legacy of exceptional tequila. Don Julio, a life devoted to tequila making. Please drink responsibly. Don Julio Tequila, 40% alcohol volume. Copyright 2021. Imported by Diageo Americas, New York, New York.
This episode is brought to you by Orbit Gum. After over a year, you may soon find yourself outside of the house. You may also find you don't remember how to interact with people. Sure, you feel comfortable talking to your cat, but Mr. Whiskers is easy. People? That's a different story. One piece of Orbit can make you as confident around people as you are around cats. Time to get your ding back. Pick up a pack of Orbit Gum, in-store or online.
Hi, this is Josh Gondelman. No, I'm sorry, I'm Josh Gondelman, and this is Make My Day, a comedy game show. The world is a stressful place to live, so every week I play a game with one guest or team of guests who are guaranteed to win because they're the only contestants. As we play a game, I assign them points based on how much their answers to my questions cheer me up specifically, and at the end, the winner or winners receive a $100 donation to the charity or cause of their choice. Then, each of us gives a pep talk to cheer up a person or a group of our choice out there somewhere in the world that might need it this week, because this isn't all about me, it's just mostly about me. Today's guests are hilarious comedians, performers, writers. Together, they are the authors of the book, Look, I Bought Plants, and other poems about life and stuff. One guest just had their film, As of Yet, premiere at the Tribeca Film Festival. Our other guest is on Billions Season 5 and was in the Frickus movie. Welcome to the show, Taylor Darren and Ava Victor. Thank you for being here.
Yay!
Hey,
I'm so happy.
I know, I'm really excited to be here, Josh. Thank you for having us.
I'm so happy that you both are here. Someday I'll figure out how to write an intro for two guests when it's not exactly the same intro. I'm still like, okay, this one does this thing. I'm like, I've got like a sentence diagram on my laptop.
Really?
No, not quite.
Okay.
I do love linguistics. I did pretty well in linguistics in college, not to brag, so I respect the sentence.
Wow.
What is one thing you think people should know about linguistics?
Okay, my favorite thing about linguistics, a question before I go into it, am I allowed to say a curse word?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You better.
You have to say a curse word.
My personal favorite thing that I learned about linguistics, one was that coming from a very white place, Massachusetts, shout out, Josh, was that African-American vernacular English, aka Ebonics, aka, slang or whatever you want to call it, is a legitimate and studied dialect, which is very, very cool. And so when you hear Black youths speak, or Black anyone speaking in a particular way, and then code switching to another way, they're speaking two different languages. So I'm bilingual, which is very cool.
That is really cool.
Right? And people look down on it, and I'm like, okay, well, do you speak another language? Let's talk about it. But also, my favorite lesson that I ever had in that linguistics class was there is a very specific rule to where you place a swear when you're putting a swear into a word. For example, abso-fucking-lutely. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't say ab-fucking-salutely.
Ab-fucking-salutely.
Or absolute-fuckingly.
Absolute-fuckingly is very funny.
Absolute-fuckingly, right? So and there's like a rule, and I don't remember what the rule is, but it's like not anything we really learn. It's just something that English speakers pick up on.
It's
as
like intuitive.
We just like know.
Oh my God.
Isn't that wild?
That's insane.
All this talk about language and its specifics is a perfect introduction to our game. Our game this week is called Poem is Where the Art Is. Your new book, Ava and Taylor, is full of funny and often poignant poems. Poetry, of course, can be a source of beauty and comfort during difficult times. So today's game will challenge you to describe or create, just to kind of get in the vicinity of the most beautiful poem possible. It doesn't have to be a poem about physical beauty, but it could also cover philosophical beauty or even a mundane subject that, through carefully crafted language and reflection, becomes beautiful. But you know that. You're the poets.
Yeah, we definitely know that.
Yeah. Excuse me for bard-splaining to you.
We forgive you. Sorry, keep going.
Thank you. No, I need to make more space for my guests. As always, I will judge your answers based on accuracy, creativity, and how much they delight me personally. Taylor and Ava, are you ready to play Poem is Where the Art Is?
I'm so ready.
Ready. No, actually not born ready, but ready now.
Yeah,
but
it would be so weird if
ready.
you were born just like, I'll play your game like day one of being a baby.
Yeah, like I have other things to figure out first. But
right?
I'm ready now.
Like African-American vernacular English and
African-American vernacular English, how to eat solid foods, and then how to play this game.
For sure. A potty train if you feel like it.
First question, just easing into the game. What is the most beautiful form of poetry? What's your favorite kind of poem?
I feel like it's really cool when a poet doesn't rhyme. So that is my contribution here. Is I think that is huge, and it sounds more like a song if you're rhyming, and I think you make sacrifices to what you mean if you're rhyming, and also it's hard. And you have to go on like a website for rhyming and you feel like a hack. So I think maybe no rhymes. Is that a form?
Sure. Yeah, 100%. That counts.
Do you mean like sonnet? Because I don't know anything besides sonnet.
That's okay. I think your answer is perfect. No rhymes.
Okay.
I think that is like a wonderful kind of poetry. And I agree with you about when you look for words that rhyme, you feel like you're like, oh, I'll just go on like rhyming dictionary .hack or whatever. But it's like there's only so many words that rhyme.
And you're putting boundaries on yourself immediately. You're putting putting, like confines on your poetry. And that just doesn't seem very poetic.
Right. No. It's like, do you not trust yourself enough to have a word that doesn't rhyme and mean something and it's still beautiful? Interesting.
Right. Oh, you need it to be heart and start. Okay, all right.
Like grow up. It's like grow up, kind of. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, grow up.
I think Andy Warhol once said that art is what you can get away with. And I think that poetry is you doing whatever the fuck you want. And that's my quote. And if people want to put that on a T-shirt or whatever,
whatever fuck ver you want.
Whatever fucking ver you want.
Tay fuckler, gare fuckler, ring. No.
I'm just going to say fucking Ava. It's actually going before any of them.
Cool.
That one actually sounds kind of right. This answer, just no rules, no rhymes. This is just a breathtaking, form-defying answer, and I think it's worth pi points, 3.141, a non-terminating decimal.
And I was gonna say pi is very much that vibe.
Yeah.
Where it's a number for sure, but like, do I have to end? That's my decision.
Yeah, most numbers stop.
I don't make sense for everyone. Like, I don't rhyme. I'm not 4. I'm not 8. I'm not 11.
Yep.
Done. I'm
not even
complicated.
I'm not even 3.15. Like, I am existing purely for myself, and that is kind of the essence of life,
And my story never ends.
Story never
Precisely.
ends. You can't put pi in a box. This is worth pi points.
Definitely not.
Incredible answers. Next question.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's nice.
For the most beautiful poem imaginable, what should the topic be? That's the next question.
I have a Basquiat quote.
Okay.
That I think might apply here.
Art is what you can get away with.
Wait, how did you know that was the quote? That's so wild. But yeah, so basically Jean-Michel Basquiat once said, art is what you can get away with. And so I kind of think of that when I'm thinking of topics of poetry. But I think that, and I'm a little biased, right? I'm not saying this simply because I have a personal kind of connection to it. I do think that poems about plants are incredibly, it's good. There's a lot to say about plants.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, there are a lot of different kinds of plants. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's plants to look at that are flowers, plants to look at that are just leaves, and there's food that goes into the ground.
There's plants you can eat.
Yeah.
I know. I know that.
Wait, hold on. I had heard of them, but I think now is the time I ask. What's like one plant you can eat?
Cucumber. Boom, off the bat.
Oh, whoa. I thought that was just like a very slow animal.
I'm really sorry.
That makes me so happy. Can you imagine? He's like, hello.
He's like, oh, a human, a friendly, like, what's he doing over here?
Hey,
buddy. Not me.
Oh no.
That's Australian.
My partner's Australian, and so it's hard for me to say no in any other way.
Oh,
at this point.
That's really cool.
Arnar.
Okay, so it's about plants.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
plants.
Poetry, the poems are about plants.
Yeah, this poem, so the most beautiful poem would be about a plant. Is there a specific plant that would inspire like just the apex in poetic beauty?
Ava, I feel like you would know the answer to this. I feel like you would.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Definitely. As an expert, yeah. Something interesting happened in my brain where I immediately thought, well, a Venus flytrap is the most obviously psycho plant because it's actually might not be a plant. And then I thought hedgehog, which looks like it could be a type of plant, but it's not a plant, it's an animal.
Yep.
So now I'm thinking maybe like a flower.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we split the difference and we make it about a pitcher plant? Because those are lesser known.
What's that?
It's another carnivorous plant.
Yep.
And it's shaped like a pitcher. And instead of like Venus flytraps where they like kind of close on like their teeth kind of
oh my God,
over
it
the
looks
fly.
like a vagina. Yeah, let's do this one.
I think that the best plants look like vaginas. That's just my opinion.
Georgia O'Keeffe thought that? Yeah. Georgia O'Keeffe
actually has a quote.
Art is the vaginas you can get away with.
You can get away with.
Yeah, a pitcher plant. It's for people listening. It's very vaginal, and it's just like a bug will like check. Like, ooh, let's check out what's in here, and then they just go in, and they can't climb back up the walls of the plant.
It's literally like a sweet scented nectar in the center of this, and bugs are attracted to it, and so they like fly into it, and then they can't escape, and it pulls them to their fate. Speaking of Yannick. Speaking of Yannick.
Oh, yeah. I thought you said yawning. I was like, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
They kind of look like they're yawning.
Speaking of Yanni.
I'll say also they are pretty tall, which is something that as an artist I can relate to.
That's a great point, and this is a great answer. That answer is worth 602 points for like a large amount of insects that I imagine a pitcher plant eats during its lifetime.
Sure. That's appropriate to me.
Next question. So we know we've got this poem, and we know it's going to be about a pitcher plant. What should the title of it be for maximum breathtaking beauty?
So I was thinking because like it's a pitcher plant, and it's literally filled with this liquid, and the bugs that are falling into it, they're like, whoa, I could use some of this liquid, like I'm thirsty. So I was thinking thirst. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So if there's a way that we can combine the word trap with the word thirst.
With the word thirst.
I just don't even.
Trap thirst.
Trap fucking thirst.
Trap fucking
fuck thirst. Trap thirst.
Trap the thirst.
Trap the thirst. That's beautiful.
Sounds like a name, like Trip the First.
Ooh. Trap the thirst, parentheses, Trip the First.
Trap the thirst, yeah. I feel like you get away with a little bit more when you use the parentheses. You get like an extra few words. And as we all know, Pablo Picasso once said, art is what you can get away with.
Where are you getting these quotes
from? Art is when the nose is over there instead.
I'm on artquote.com.
Oh, we're both in the same website. I just wanted to make sure if there was a better reference site that I could be using.
For this
That's
quote.
why I was asking. But yeah.
Trap the thirst, parentheses, Trip the First.
Precisely, yes.
That's so fucking stupid. That's the poem. That's the whole poem. I think that's longer than every poem in our book.
For sure.
I think that's a great title for the poem. It's evocative.
Cool.
It's lyrical. I think that's perfect. This answer is worth 289 points.
Oh, that sounds good.
Can you, is there any explanation behind that, or was that just what the judges said?
Yeah, what happened to the last 11?
Well, you think it should be 300 points?
I don't know.
I like a round number, but it's also, actually...
oh, God.
No, I'm trying to think of the artist who said this. But, wait, Josh, was this you? I think you maybe tweeted this a couple weeks ago. But you were like, points on Make My Day podcast are what I can get away with.
And, that's 299 points. But for remembering that quote, which I'm very flattered by, that's an extra 11 points. That's 300 points.
I'm a listener and a fan.
Oh my God, awesome. Now I can go to sleep and not have to freak out about 289 not being 300.
Listen, if you're up thinking about it, let me know. I'll hit you up. I got some unintentional ASMR I can hook you up with.
Yeah, just a guy painting, or like someone walking on sawdust, shuffling through sawdust.
There's a nun who had her own show on EWN network in the 1990s, and hers is super, super triggering for me too. But I'm having to guard my brain from being influenced to being incredibly religious, or maybe becoming a nun.
Oh my God. You know what? The nun outfit, I think, is the habit, if you will, is the only thing that I think would make me feel happy in my gender identity. If I could wear that every day, I could finally be free from all the things I feel and the rules I am afraid of that I follow.
100%. They get some fun ones too. Sometimes the hat is flipped. It's
oh yeah, I don't like that. That's too girly.
Okay, fair enough. That's fair. Totally.
Ava, so you're. I don't mean to sound like I'm making fun, but the ideal visual representation of your gender presentation outwardly is a nun's habit.
Yes, with no stigma.
No, right. You don't want to be a nun. You just want to wear it this is how I like to look. This is how I feel in my body. I feel the best in my body, but this isn't a religious thing.
Yes,
it's just a coincidence.
I would want a little bit of my hair showing.
Okay, yeah.
Just in
one
the front
curl.
here to just show that it's there, and then I'll be I don't...
Do you think nuns ever should I get bangs?
Are they allowed to have bangs?
Oh my God, every nun takes off their thing and they unclip their little bangs. And they
have Zooey Deschanel bangs. Next question. How does this poem look on the page? How is it laid out? Is it a lot of lines, dense on the page? Is it a few words kind of spread out? What are we seeing? What's the visual presentation?
We could do one of those poems that looks like it's falling into the pitcher plant.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's really good.
Maybe it's a sentence and then it falls at the end into the plant or something.
Yeah, and we hand draw the pitcher plant at the bottom.
Yeah, with our little
and maybe the
pen.
pitcher plant is made of words too.
Whoa. Or the bottom half of the poem is, we shape it specifically so that it's shaped like a pitcher plant. So the top half is falling into the bottom.
That's sick.
And the bottom is shaped like a pitcher plant.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love that.
This is fun.
This is very
good.
And
the words that make up the pitcher plant are so small you have to use a magnifying glass to see them.
Yeah.
100%.
Oh, yeah. That's great. Do you think the first person who ever wrote a poem that looked like a thing, if the poem was about rain and the words were kind of falling like raindrops, and then there was words that made up the ground, do you think that poet's friends saw that and were like, "You magnificent bastard.
Yes, they
what
said.
What have you done?
You better get a patent on this because you are going to be you're going to be a millionaire, the likes that only YouTube ASMR internet sensations have seen."
I feel all the stuff that we, that kind of feels hacked now, right? Someone oh, this is a trope. Someone did it for the first time and all their poet friends probably reacted like it was the end of a rap battle. You know what I mean?
It's hyping them up.
Oh, they lifted him up in a chair.
We've decided this poem is going to look like a pitcher plant and bugs and water coming into the pitcher. It's genius. This answer is worth 400 points for the number of characters in this short but visually stunning and powerful poem. Final question. What is the last line of the poem?
What if we do that thing where it's I say a word and then you say the next word and we try to make
improv, acting school.
Yes, 100%.
Okay, so you two will do it back and forth.
Okay.
And then we'll figure out when it ends. I think this is going to be an incredible conclusion to the poem.
Okay, I can't wait. All right, Ava, do you want to go first?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
goodbye.
Pitcher.
And
bugs.
And
plants.
Say
goodbye
to.
That's beautiful.
Oh.
Sorry, nope, still going. No, that's okay.
It's not over yet.
I didn't realize that we were still doing poetry.
This is kind of like our process. This is kind of like our process.
This is how we work. Sorry.
I jumped in too fast. Yeah. Is this how you wrote the book?
Yeah, this might be two.
Yeah, it took us 12 years.
This sounds like if the Beastie Boys were sloths. That's like
Wait. Okay. Thank you, first of all. And second of all, what if we just took out my 2 and ended it where you thought it ended? Because that's actually helpful to have someone as a witness end it.
Do you know what I'm going to say?
Sure.
I think that we should end it after the 2.
Oh, that's good.
That's
and maybe
bad.
like a dash as if they're cut off.
And then
they die.
They fell into the
can't finish
pitcher.
their sentence.
Yeah. Okay, so the sentence is goodbye, pitcher, and plants, and bugs.
Yep.
Say goodbye to.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I love it.
Yeah, that's really beautiful.
Just sort of behind the scenes of what happened in my head was when I said say, I thought, for some reason, I thought you were in my head and we're going to be like la vie. So that's what I was thinking. But it was so beautiful that say actually means something else.
Yeah.
But you know what? I want us to write it in the French way. Because
so it's gonna be say goodbye to, but C apostrophe EST goodbye to.
It is goodbye.
What? That is so beautiful. And I think that sentence is awesome. And let me say why, which is that so many things people go through the filter of their minds first, of their like logical brains. And we really came from a place of intuition and it's important. And I think it really mirrors like the idea that the last thing you see before you go is like the images of different parts of your life. And it's a little bit more of like a montage and it's like little like collages and scrambles. And I think it really speaks to that idea. And this is actually how we built ourselves up after we wrote each poem. We would
100%.
tell each other sort of what the meaning was of each one. But don't you think that is kind of true?
It's true and it's profound and it's beautiful and you're right and you should say it.
Yeah. Say goodbye to.
And
this is perfect.
Say goodbye to.
This is an revoir. Say au revoir tu.
Say au revoir.
Well, it is like, it's meant to be spoken like say goodbye to.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's cut off.
Yeah, like cut off.
Okay.
And then they're taken by the regular size death, because in French, the petite death, the small
means
death.
Something different.
That's ASMR-y.
Ooh.
That's very ASMR. She's like, I just died a little.
Say goodbye to.
ASMR
I just died.
About it.
Incredible conclusion to this poem. This is just beautiful, stunning. This final answer is worth 425 points.
Wow.
That's a good number.
No, that's a really nice. I like
that.
Yeah, I'm thrilled.
Okay, good. That brings us to the end of our game of Poem is Where the Art Is. Your final score, Ava and Taylor, is 1,730.141, etc. points. That is the highest all-time score in Make My Day history. Ava and Taylor, how do you feel?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I can't believe we did it.
I have never won anything.
I cannot relate. I won a basketball hoop at Stop and Shop one time when I was 8 years old. But this is the second greatest thing that I've ever won. I'm so thrilled.
Thank you so much. That really means a lot. And somehow, even though it's just a number, it means so much more.
I'm glad.
That makes sense.
No,
that's
100%.
Beautiful. Thank you. That was like a poem.
Thank you.
Ava kind of just speaks in poetry.
Thank you, too.
Yeah.
Whoa, I see what you did.
As this week's grand prize winners, you have each won a $100 contribution to the cause of your choice. Where will the money be going?
I think we're both going to donate our $100 to the Black Trans Advocacy Coalition.
That's great.
Yeah, they're a nonprofit in the South.
A wonderful choice. I'll make that information available to listeners in the show notes and on the show's social media.
I'm Amanda Klutz, Broadway actress, dancer, and celebrity trainer, and I partnered with Equinox to create a custom AK rope class. It's a rhythmic group fitness experience, and music is an integral component. jump, and sculpt using the rope in ways you've never imagined. It's time to get back to moving our bodies. AK Rope, my signature class, now available at Equinox, is a safe, fun, and positive way to do just that.
And now it's time for the show's final segment, the pep talks. We will each give a pep talk to a person or group that we think deserves it or needs it this week. I'm going to start. My pep talk is for teenage poets. There is a near mortal lock chance that everything you're currently writing will be humiliating to look at or even think about within 5 years. Whether your poetry is full of steampunk-adjacent affected maladies or like stark modern confessional imagery like, I saw the TikTok you made with her and I knew our time was up, you're going to look back on it and get vaguely or acutely queasy soon. But that's no reason not to write it. In fact, it's all the more reason to craft your thoughts into poems, because the only way not to be embarrassed by the stuff you did in the past is not to have done anything, which is ridiculous. You've got to do it. Do things. It's inevitable to look back and wince at your past self like you're staring into the sun, but the sun is beaming down visions of terrible haircuts and jeans with weird tailoring and questionable music choices. But the point of learning to make art isn't to do the best work of your life now. It's to practice being creative and process your big ideas and big feelings. It's like having braces, but for your emotions and means of expression. And that's true whether you're a teenager or an adult. Do stuff that you'll be embarrassed of later. That's how you know you've grown. That, and because you no longer cry listening to emotionally overwhelming songs in your high school's parking lot. You do your crying in the parking lot of Trader Joe's. It's weird to hang out at the high school when you're an adult. Taylor and Ava, the floor is yours for pep talks.
Oh my God, wait, can I just say right before that was beautiful, and can you send it to me?
That actually, I felt that in a lot of ways. I feel like that reparented my inner child in a huge way.
I was just about to say,
truly.
Like, all my shadow work out the window. I don't need it anymore.
We graduated therapy because Josh just gave that pep talk to us.
Happy to help. Happy to help.
I have a pep talk for the curators of unintentional ASMR on YouTube, specifically the ones that tag their unintentional ASMR as unintentional so that it's very easy for me to find in the middle of the night. What you do is so valid, and what you do is so appreciated. And I know that it can feel like you are on the outskirts, that you are on the fringes because you're not sitting at home with a $250 professional mic with a windscreen, making ASMR in the way that society wants you to make ASMR content, with your acrylic nails on a snare drum, or whispering into a hairbrush, or, not doing anything sexual, obviously. But I just want you to know that there are people out there who see what you're doing, and you help them through kind of everyday things. A panic attack on the subway, another panic attack on the subway, insomnia in the middle of the night when you're trying to, go back to sleep and your partner is sleeping the sleep of the unoppressed next to you. I just want you to know that you're seen and you're felt, and I appreciate you. I hear you, and I love you. I'm just gonna say it. I love you. Thank you for being you.
That's beautiful.
That was
what a great
awesome.
pep talk, Taylor. Yeah.
Thank you.
Ava, it's your turn. Bring us home.
I guess my pep talk is for artists or things that not only are the things they are, but also look like vaginas. As someone who was really scared about saying or even admitting to myself that I was queer growing up, I really did go to a Georgia O'Keeffe exhibit when I was a kid and thought, oh my God, I'm so nervous that all I see is a sexual organ, because that must be just something that I see. But I think what I'm trying to say is thank you to Georgia O'Keeffe, because I think that fear was just actually the fear of seeing something I recognized as good and beautiful that I didn't know was good and beautiful, and that I felt a lot of shame around. And it's important that certain things that you see in everyday life look like vaginas so that you never can hide from who you are, and so that at some point you say, I think Georgia O'Keeffe's paintings look like vaginas, and everyone says, duh, we fucking knew that, and then you don't feel so lonely, and then you can be queer as an adult. Can I start over?
I think that was so good.
I honestly thought that was really good.
Okay, good.
It was so good.
It was so good.
Okay,
That's
good.
incredible. Great pep talks, incredible gameplay. Thank you to this week's champions, Taylor Garin and Ava Victor. Taylor and Ava, where can people find you and your work?
I'm on Twitter. You can see some of my best work on Twitter at Taylor Garin. Also on Instagram, less good work, but lots of selfies. Same at. I've written for Reductress and The Onion. I'm all over there. And just had a film premiere at Tribeca. We're trying to sell it. So if that happens, just pay attention to the social media feeds and you guys can see it too.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, I'm online sometimes. I'm trying to divorce from my phone, but it's hard. I am in Taylor's film, which was an honor, and it is out, and you should watch it. And yeah, you can watch Billions when it comes out. I don't know when that will be, but it will be exciting. And I go to the donut place on my street a lot, so we can also meet there.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for being on the show. If you are listening and you want to write a poem that conforms to the guidelines of the poem we described, please feel free. Tweet it at me, tweet it at the show at Make My Day Pod. I'll also make the information for the Black Trans Advocacy Coalition available for everyone to donate if they're moved to. And that's the show. Make My Day is a Radio Point production, produced by Houston Snyder and Naomi Steinberg, recorded and edited by Kat Iosa, executive produced by Alex Bach, Rich Corson, and Daniel Powell. If you like the show, please rate and review it as highly as your conscience allows. A 5-star review really helps. We'll be back next week. Until then, have several nice days.